Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It has been a really long time. I was requested to do a little video, and I've been missing doing YouTube. I kind of just took a big break from it just because I'm like, okay, I'm putting myself under a lot of pressure to try to make all my videos perfect and do all the things. And what I realize is sometimes just doing my own thing and not putting pressure on myself is the best thing to do. And because I just want to do it for fun and not be strict about like, oh my gosh, what if I could make money at it or anything like that. That's just not on my mindset right now. So let's just catch up since it's been a while. I'm just folding my clothes right now, and then we'll get into it. So honestly, before I did this video, I even had to look at what I've been up to, because I don't know why, but when I think about the year, I don't know if it's just because it blew by so fast that I honestly couldn't think of anything I had done except go see my dad. I'm like, I've done stuff. Like, why is my brain spacing right now? So I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, I have been doing stuff. So I think my main goal this year, which is going to be continued into the next, however long, is been to really focus on doing experience type activities versus spending money. It's been one of the main things that I worked on this year, and just also doing a lot more outdoor activities, trying to see things, try to find things for us to do as a family that weren't super expensive. And I feel like that, when I think about the year, I think, wow, we really did a lot. And I love that. I love that we were able to get out, see things, just to have experiences that, otherwise if you're just spending money and staying at home, it's not really focusing on. Right now it's a little more difficult, obviously, because it's colder, but during the summer, I feel like we were really popping. And I was just thinking about it. So like in April, we went to Bandon, Oregon, and we hung out there for my birthday and had a really good vacation. Went to going to the coast is always fun. So doing that. And then we went to Moses Lake over 4th of July. That was like a little bit longer of a trip for us. And we did like a little road trip and went to Leavenworth and had a lot of great experiences. And then of course the biggest trip of all was seeing my dad, because Ronan had never flown before. So that was like a kind of a big ordeal for us. And overall it wasn't too bad, stressful, but we made it. And everybody lived to tell the tale. So that's the important part. So yeah. And then this year, I have a new manager. So, it's trying to get the kinks of like working with new people and having new responsibilities, things in your job changing. So I think there was that aspect of like, okay, well, I'm getting accustomed to that this year. So there's just a lot of reasons why this year I was not really thinking about YouTube that much. I'm happy to be back on it. I think my regular schedule would definitely not apply to my life anymore. So just because you're getting a video now doesn't mean you're getting another one anytime soon. So don't get excited. But, I think my main focus has been, just on experiences, saving money. That's like kind of what I focused on mostly last year. I've been really wanting to save a bunch of money, but I feel like just in general, there's always something that comes up all the time, It's just very annoying. It's like, I'm sure everyone has this happen to them, you like start to get ahead a little bit on stuff and you're like, yeah, I'm like really killing it, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now the cat is in the hospital, it's just, that's how it was for us anyway. So, but I'm feeling a little better. I feel like we've got a good chunk of debt paid off, which was nice. Like, because the cat, he got himself poisoned. And I felt bad because it was kind of like our fault. He got poisoned. We didn't poison him, but I, for my birthday, had gotten a bouquet of flowers, and I just didn't know that, because it was a mixed bouquet, they had like a couple of tiger lilies in them, or stargazer lilies. And they're extremely toxic to cats. So didn't know that. And that was a learning curve for us. And almost killed him. So I'm happy he survived it. But at the same time, I felt really guilty. Like, this is really my fault because we brought this into the house, not knowing that that it was extremely toxic. So, you know, I felt like we obviously, because he was healthier before, so we put him in the hospital. He managed to survive all of this, but it was really expensive. You know, anytime you're going to an emergency vet and they're staying at a hospital for days on end, it's not cheap. Don't recommend. So moral of the story, if you have any type of hint of a lily, please, I would say any type of flower. Honestly, I'm very weird about bringing flowers in the house now because I'm like, oh my gosh, is it toxic? Don't get it near the cat. And he's not normally a big eater of flowers, but lilies are so toxic that even just the pollen getting on their skin and them licking themselves can put them into kidney failure. So I would just say, if you have a cat or dog, just be very, very aware of what kind of flowers you're bringing into the house. Probably not as much dogs because they don't like get on the counter and stuff, but definitely just be cognizant of that because I didn't know it was like that. But we learned that now. We've developed and learned experiences. So, happy that he is back up and running, but it was very, very trying time mid-year. And we still had some debt last year from just having, like, we changed the heating and air in our house. So we were paying on that slowly. And my goal last year was like, I don't want to pay this bill anymore. We've been paying a long time. It has 0% interest, but it's like one of those things where I'm just making the payment that I designated I have to make to pay it off in time. But why am I doing that? If I have the funds, let's just bust this stupid thing out so I don't have to think about it anymore. And it would just be one less inconvenience in my life. So I worked really hard on that last year. And then of course the cat made this huge bill. So then we financed that and then that was 0% interest again. But still, I was like, I just want to pay all these little debts off and just be free and clear. So any like little debts that we had, we got paid off, which was super nice. So I was like, okay, now this next year we can focus on just being, you know, like keeping our budget really tight. Just so we can save more money because I'm like, I just want to get more money in our savings. I feel like we haven't been able to do that in a while, just because of paying like little bills here and little bills there, or, you know, it's just like things like that all the time. So that's what I want to focus on in the new year. But, and we worked on that last year a bit too, just like, okay, we're going to try to cut our bills down as much as we can by changing our phone plans and changing insurances, things like that. So we can save this amount of money and then we can put more money on our debts, get it paid off faster. And then during the year, I just found any way that I could to save money. So, we actually were very productive. Well, I say last year as in it's going to be over in like a day or two, but, 2024 was very productive financially. So I just want to keep that energy going. And, I don't know, we just had we were able to do a lot of fun things that weren't super expensive. So I kind of want to keep that going. Just looking for opportunities to go out and do stuff that doesn't cost a bunch of money. And it's also good for Ronan too, because I feel like he doesn't get to go out a bunch because he's, you know, George is a stay-at-home dad and it's hard to take him out by yourself. Yeah, I mean, he's really good at it now, George is, but it's like hard to even get him in the car seat now. So it's like, without two people, he just does not want to do what he needs to do. So it makes it a little more challenging if you're trying to go by yourself, but he's been trying to take him to the parks and do stuff and just get his energy out, get to see other children, you know, cause he's the only child at the moment. But, yeah, so I think that's been our big focuses and why I haven't been really worried about YouTube necessarily. And also I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, like I said, because I'm like, oh, like if I was looking up all the things like, well, if you want to get monetized, then you need to do all these things. And, you know, your content has to be this, your content has to be that. And it's like, I have a kid now. I don't have time to focus on that. It's not my main career. I have a job. So it is what it is. I will make videos just for the fun of it. And I'm not going to stress about making them look the best or making the best thumbnails or whatever. And if people want to watch them, people watch them, you know, that's going to be my main energy I'm bringing to my channel, in the upcoming time period. And then just doing it for me, you know, just to do something, you know, creative that I enjoy doing. And I like video editing and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be what I'm bringing to my channel. And I am missing a sock. Better I have 2 socks that don't match. I have 3 socks actually. How annoying. All right, well, these two are the same height, so we're going to go with those two together. And then we just have now a random sock that has no pair. Hate that when that happens, but what are we going to do about it? Maybe it'll show up somewhere along the line. All right, welcome back, you guys. I had to run off and put some of the clothes away so I have more room. So, where were we? Yeah. So that's what I want from my channel this year. I need to make another vision board. I haven't done that in a while, but I really want to get back on track with doing those because I think it's kind of nice to have your goals laid out, but what you're aiming for in the new year. So yeah, I think that would be cool. And right now I'm just putting all my stuff on hangers. And eventually I'll have to put them in the closet. That's the hard part. I don't mind putting them on the hangers. It's just making it to the closet that seems to be a problem for me. But I gotta do it. This is my goal of the day. So what else has been going on? Yeah, and then just in general, like from the milestones for my child, trying to get him like speaking. He speaks a little bit, but it's like he's still delayed technically. He's in speech therapy, so we're working on getting him to use his words consistently. Because I think sometimes, like, if he wants to, he will. If he doesn't, he won't. Because he has a pretty fair amount of words that we've, like, tracked. Because we're, like, at this point, tracking all of his words. Emphasis on why I feel like I never have time to do anything. Because I'm like, okay, what did he say? Is that a new word? Put it on the list. And then we have to have a running timer of, like, okay, now when did he have that word versus last appointment? Was that a new word? Like, I have, like, a whole running total. So I kind of drive myself insane doing that. As one can. So that's like my little hobby I have going on right now. But I'm also thinking right now, because I have to go out in a little bit, so I'm trying to like, should I put these things together and then I don't have to put them on hangers because I'll wear them? Would that look weird together? Flannel and my political shirt. I'm gonna just put it together and see what happens. Worst case scenario, I mean, what are they going to say? It's the doctor's office. I have to bring Rowan to the doctor's office today because he's got a fever, so I'm wondering if he has an ear infection. So I have to eventually bring him back in this year and double check on his ears. He does not like anything doctors. He does not want to cooperate at all. Like, when we used to... when you work with kids occasionally, I don't have to do that as much, thank goodness. But in my old job, I had to work with, doing eye exams on kids all the time. And you could just tell, you're like, oh my gosh, this kid's having a meltdown, like, stressful. I'm not a pediatric tech. That's just not my lifestyle. But, some people are excellent at it. But I'm like one of those parents now that is like super embarrassed and struggling and fighting for my life to get my kid to cooperate with anything. And I'm like, I just feel for them now on a new level, because I'm like, sir, we need to do this thing and you're not going to cooperate for any of it. And it's just, even though we talk it up and we do all the things and give him rewards for doing good, and it is a whole time. Like, his eye exam was a whole mess and he needs to go get another one of those. And like, I'm just trying to make sure I'm eliminating all the factors of like why he could have, sorry, my eyes itchy. Why he could have like speech therapy issues, or like speech development. It seems like he's progressing quite well per their guidelines, but it's like, you want him to be regularly speaking. So I want him to obviously have as much opportunity to succeed as possible. So I'm trying to like rule out other things, like, is it a hearing issue? This is the second or third time he's had a ear infection, so I'm like, is that too many? I don't know. I could be overthinking his whole life, but as I do. I start to worry about that, or does he have something wrong with his ears? It looked like last time when we had them checked, from what they could see on him, because he couldn't do the like hearing test or respond because he just was not having it. He was just crying most of the time. But from what they could tell looking in his ears, they didn't seem like they had an issue. So that's good at least, but I need to kind of follow up on that because I just want to make sure that there's not a problem that I'm not paying attention to. And then recheck his eyes again just to make sure everything's cool there. So that's what we're going to focus on this year, making sure we get all our health things done. And then for me, working on having another kid. So that is one of my main goals, is to go back into the ORM facilities and get kind of back into care there so I can start that process. So that entails also spending some money, but also trying to save money simultaneously. So I need to work on that this year. Those are my main goals. What else? I'm trying to see, how can I make this not as awkward? Let's do that. Your guys are on a laundry basket right now, so because that's what I'm trying to finish up doing, is putting my clothes away. But yeah, so I want to do another vision board because I feel like that was actually really helpful for when I was trying to get pregnant. I had like something to focus in on and work on, you know, like, okay, we need to do these things. And I think some things have improved and I just want to keep going with that. But it's just things to work on, obviously. What else? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm pretty boring mostly. I like go to work. I come home, hang out with my kid. On the weekends we do things, you know, and like they're small things, like we may go to the park or I may go to the library. It's like pretty insignificant things, but I try to like get him out of the house a little bit more, you know, just because I can tell he's like, oh my gosh, I just want to get out and do something. And especially now in the winter, it's a little more difficult because you're like, okay, it's kind of cold outside, but let me just bundle you up a lot. And then, you know, you can still play a little bit or at least get outdooring in on your activities. So I've been trying to work on that. Yeah. And then as far as makeup, I still love makeup, but I like feel like I never get a chance to put it on because like I'm going to work, but I'm not going like out somewhere fancy to put on makeup for. And then I don't feel like I wake up early enough in general to even get anything accomplished in the mornings before work, much less putting on a whole beat of makeup. So, what else? I think that's it. But yeah, I think if I do my YouTube channel, it's going to be like, okay, I'm just doing it for fun and keeping everybody up to date on what's going on in my life and making videos about things I'm interested in and not stressing about monetization or whether the video is going to do well. And it just is what it is. If people like it, they do. And it might just be my family watching it, whatever. But that's okay. Because, you know, it's good to keep up to date with people. So that's all I got. I am about to finally finish putting away my clothes. It's been a long journey today. We were sick with COVID for a little bit, so we have an extreme backlog on clothes, like 4 weeks worth of laundry to put away. So I'm finally to the point where I think we're at the last leg of this, which is thank goodness, because I feel like it's been going on all morning. But anyway, I will let you guys go. Hope you have a great new year. And I think I am going to do another video about like goals for next year because I think that would be fun. All right. Bye, you guys.